Welcome to the Catholic Table Talk podcast. This is where everything Catholic is on the table. New episodes Thursdays at 9 a.m. Eastern on most podcast platforms. Here's your host, William Sauber.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode here at Catholic Table Talk podcast. Thank you again for joining us for another episode 248. Today we'll talk about the sport of wrestling and should Catholics do it? What's kind of the guidelines? And this is again, with a guest, we'll probably definitely go into more detail. And I did not reach out to one former guest who asked on the cards, but now of course I'm thinking of it. But again, just kind of the basics, because I have heard this brought up before, is should Catholics wrestle, boys, girls, whatever, right? Should they entertain themselves in? And there is a few guidelines, and so we'll dig into that as well. So again, comment, like, subscribe on all of our platforms, catholictt@gmail.com. Make sure you like us there. Send us an email for a topic or show request as well. So again, another topic is wrestling good for kicks? Right, that's episode 248. That's the topic. But let me put it this way: is wrestling in a way evil? Is it in a way demonic? Right? That depends. Hey, we're going to do this real quick. We're going to take a short, quick break, and you can think on that, and we'll be right back after this. All right, thanks JTL for sponsoring also today's episode and his Northern Safety LLC company. Check them out. Okay, so again, just searching the old interweb, trying to find some good Catholic and some good content. But let me put it this way again: is wrestling demonic? Is it evil? Which we know from Genesis, right? That God saw how good everything was, and basically everything is good in a way, right? I mean, not everything, not maybe some stuff that you might see online, but and other stuff that maybe happens at the house or in your home or out in public. I mean, war is not good. I'll just put it that way. Okay, but God saw how good it was, which we as human beings basically we turn what is good into evil, and we seek pleasure for ourselves. We turn that into a very evil, very selfish thing, which then might be who knows what. I mean, alcohol is not evil, but if you misuse it, it's evil. I mean, overeating, right? Or just like eating just to eat. So again, is wrestling evil? And no, I want to say that. I mean, just out of the blue. Now it's a little, I definitely. So the past month or so, I've been kind of asking friends and asking people about what they think about wrestling and this and that, and I got a lot of feedback. And this is from Catholics and non-Catholics, but it's like it's a little different, right, from your average football or baseball. And it's a little different, but a lot of people still like it, right? Some didn't, a couple people didn't, one for sure didn't, made that clear. But a lot of people did still like it. And again, same thing with baseball. If you take a sporting event, which is good, and you replace that with instead of going to mass on Sunday, or well, then it becomes evil, because then you're making that ahead of God, you're making that an idol. So again, no, wrestling itself, just the whole thing, is not really evil, right? Now, of course, it's one of the most, probably more contacted, might get hot sports out there besides football. So again, it's not evil, but it is, if you do it for the wrong reasons, which some people do, maybe, and stuff. It's not good. So I don't like to really get really a news clip from ABC News, but I did like this story about boys and girls, just because again, girls wrestling is way up there, and of course, you know, I mean, it's been really a thing, especially back when I was in college a few years ago. It was really gaining steam, and it's continuing to gain steam. Um, but again, I mean, you're watching. If you watch online, you got boys and girls wrestling, and it's like they're making moves and they're doing stuff that you probably shouldn't be doing. That's where it gets kind of tricky, right? So this is from way back in 2014. This article from ABC News. Um, but boys banned from wrestling goes due to safety and modesty. Boys who wrestle for Catholic school teams in central Pennsylvania are required to forfeit if facing a female opponent under a policy adopted by the Roman Catholic Diocese of Harrisburg. The co-ed participation policy, which the diocese said was issued to address safety and modesty, also includes football and rugby. Preparation for Christian adulthood likewise involves the development and encouragement of appropriate, dignified, and respectful forms of conduct between male and female students. Bishop at the time, Ronald Gangler, said in a statement outlining the policy, the diocese therefore believes that the incomparable with its religious mission is with the efforts to teach the gospel values to condone competitions between young men and women in sports that involve substantial and particularly in modest physical contact. I mean, I couldn't agree more, right? Because they only got the singlets on, really, and it's showing a lot. And just heck, even parents talking a lot about it. And like I said, it almost seems like, I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, but it almost seems like the girls who wrestle are way more like, they don't care about what they do, or what, with the boys, they do seem a little more modest, if I may say, or do, not attack like they probably would to another guy. Um, so again, I totally see the point. Under the policy, which was first reported, females are forbidden from participating in wrestling, tackle football, and rugby. If a match is scheduled between a male wrestler from a Catholic school and a female wrestler from another school, the male athlete would either have to forfeit the match or negotiate with the opposing team, so a female wrestler would not wrestle one of our athletes. Which maybe I would definitely try go to the negotiating table. The Catholic school students are allowed to face female opponents from other students, are allowed to face female opponents from other schools' football and rugby teams. That doesn't really make sense. After they said it was, so that's why I really like ABC News, because that just doesn't make sense. But if a match is, the diocese covers 15 counties in South Pennsylvania. This is the Diocese of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and he serves over 11,000 students at the time, including 7 high schools. Dioceses have been grappling in recent years with the issue of co-ed participation in contact sports. In 2013, the Archbishop of Philadelphia banned co-ed participation in Catholic youth organized football, but later reversed course following an awareness campaign led by someone, Caroline Pla. Oh, that's why. Female participation in high school wrestling is increasing, of course. So yeah, it's increasing, and that's the end of the article, and it still is increasing. So, and actually trying to find the article again and kind of can't find it, but basically it was back in 2016, I believe. It was in a state tournament. Might have been Pennsylvania. Don't quote me. But yeah, it was a state tournament, the first round, and the boy was facing a goal, and the boy had to forfeit because and he was a pretty good wrestler. Because basically, I like he it was more so he did it out of respect. Like I'm not going to wrestle. So again, that type of stuff, it's not, again, it goes back to goes competing in many sports, and really, it's not safe for either one, especially with limited clothing. And I mean, again, you want to probably trust. I mean, again, you can't sleep together. You can't, probably go in your bed in each other's bedrooms for a while. So why would you have a wrestle? Why would you wrestle? So again, that part I think we all can agree with is probably not the best, right? It's okay to ban that because again, yeah, and I mean, but that's just the culture we live in. But make an effort to not do that. That's for sure. And I mean, a lot of people are now going back to just wrestling in general. Again, it's not evil. It just stuff like that makes it evil. It makes it, and it's maybe both the guy and the goal don't really see it like that. But especially if let's just say if you get someone they're both in high school, then it's going to be a little more controversial out still, if not at the younger age. So again, that I can see that yes, that shouldn't be when you have a boy and go wrestle. It's one thing maybe you're doing it at home as a family in your family maybe, but still it's not recommended. So again, is it evil? Well, I know, but again, it can be used for evil. Same thing. If you're a girl who struggles with looking at guys inappropriately, or vice versa, boys looking at girls, but it is a struggle. It is not good to probably watch that, right? And also, just for if you're same-sex attraction, it's not good. But the thing is, if the kids start young, then it's probably not bad. Then it's not a bad thing because that's how you grow up. And like I heard it from the wrestler before too. Like wrestling is one of the sports that really gives you a lot of discipline, gives you a lot. You have to overcome a lot of stuff that people don't really see, and that type of stuff. So, which is true. But again, it really comes down to I think I think it helps if you start the kids young and they are rooted deeply in the Catholic faith and it doesn't interfere with going to Mass on Sunday, then yes, then it's okay. But like I said, if you have someone who's, of course, I mean, people are saying you can occasionally change the gender at like 11 years old or whatever, 7 years old, right? So again, if they wait, and all of a sudden your seventh grade kid walks and says, "Mom, I want to wrestle," they might already have that mindset of, maybe which gender am I? I might have a same-sex attraction towards the same sex. I might, want to do it for a pleasure or for my own gain, um, that type of stuff. So I mean, this stuff does happen. So it could be, like I said, it could be like sexual abuse, or it could be something else too if someone really wanted to. So again, like everything is good, but it can be for evil. And I think maybe, especially the long tier wrestling coaches might be like, yep, they might have had some of those problems during their career. Maybe. Not saying that all of them did, but maybe most of them. So again, it's yeah, it's not evil, but it's not really good. Michael Baglino, we had on, remember him, and actually I looked up his article again that how I first found him. He says, quote in his article, I won't read all of it, but you should read it because it's pretty good. The amateur wrestler is called to always be mindful, sober, and alert. Such are the fruits of dedication and commitment. With that, the daily struggles, practice, and prayer victory follows. He says, I never met a wrestler of champion quality who is not mentally tough. Mental toughness is the psychological edge that allows an individual to triumph over his or her foes. Mental toughness includes clarity and focusing, allowing the competitor to manage the stress and pressure confronting him or her. Mental toughness is the mindset of a winner that will excuse excellently and constantly with ongoing preparation. They develop belief in themselves that is solid, unwavering, mentally tough, and confidence, belief in themselves and belief in God through endurance of those growing practices, through repetition, through the drilling and sweat, through the prayer comes the confidence and the execution and victory. They fight through it to stand firm at the end. So again, it's probably almost like the best sport out there for some of the stuff that you learn. And I don't know because I never did it, but from again going from that green hole and going from another one, it's people notice it and people notice it, and it is, like I said, again, starting them young, working their way up could be probably the best thing. Seems we are in a wrestling match with God in our lives, like we always say, we always wrestle with God. But as adults, well past the age of wrestling of our youth, it is not struggling with wrestling against our opponent on the mat. Rather, we struggle and wrestle now against the powers, against the principles, against all sorts of spiritual wickedness within us and without us. We move from struggle to struggle. We prepare, we self-discipline, we pray to engage the foe with God's word. End of article, end of quote. So, yeah, it's, again. And actually, he says, too, wrestling was the first Olympic sport going back to 708 BC and a Middle Eastern sport for thousands of years. He says, as far as I know, wrestling is the only sport mentioned in the Bible. Jacob had wrestled with God, and God spared him and blessed him. His name was then changed to Israel, which means struggle with God. And so Jacob was forced to confront his fears and weaknesses, his thorns, and his hurts, realizing that through surrender only God can save him. In an exhausting struggle, it was wrestling with God which finally made us know that our lives are not to be easy. Personal growth always involves struggle and pain. But if it is with God, his blessings will follow. 100%. So again, that's what, because that's one of the things when you look up, you're like, wrestling with God, or the other one. So, and of course, wrestling with God in Catholic theology and reflection means wrestling with God is used as a spiritual metaphor to deep prayer, dealing with personal doubts, or struggling to understand faith, which I hate to say it, but I think we all do that, right? I mean, I don't know if I should say hate to say it, but we all do it. So yeah, I mean, nothing wrong with really watching wrestling. Nothing really wrong with going to it, participating in it. But again, if you comes down to what you think, and if it's on the person, I mean, then it can be, like I said, something evil. So anyway, that's what I got, because again, and most of them, like I said, I think one guy said too, like most of them are good, but you might have one or two throughout your life, through your career. And like I said again, boys and girls, shouldn't happen. Doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter whatever, it shouldn't happen. Because that's, again, men and women in the same sport. I mean, yeah, I know it's different teams or whatever, but still, and maybe you're not in the same locker room, but you still have limited clothing in a very tight space. So, anyway, let me know what you think down below. Because again, like anything, everything is good. But with our fallen human nature, we tend to see things differently and we make things evil. And, with that, it can be somewhat demoic because people do struggle with same-sex attraction, with, looking at stuff online wrongly, seeking pleasure and wanting to hurt others. And like I said, am I a boy, am I a girl? Is what's so wrong with wrestling a boy? So that type of stuff. And like I said, some people think baseball is really weird. Some people think football is really weird. Some people think soccer is such a boring sport. Some people think golf is for people in their retirement. I mean, so again, everyone has a complaint about every sport. It's just with the outfit, with the clothing, with the stuff that's happening in the sport right now, there is some cause to kind of hit pause and rethink some of the things over, that's for sure. So let us know what you think in the comments. And until next time, go to sacrament, go stay grace, and God willing, we'll see you next time on Catholic Table.